something big? It sure is. Holy shit, this episode was nuts. This was like, gotta be its most violent. I mean, it's like a really violent episode. It starts off with, right in the middle of this battle, I forgot her name, the girl.
Maja.
Maja has brought up this beast from the ancient world, although beach, that'd be even stranger. Giant beach. Anyway.
Well, we already have that. Remember the woman?
Yeah, that's right, the woman island, yeah. Pretty much brings him to life and is just attacking the Candy Kingdom and killed Root Beer Guy and, was it General Candy Corn? Was that his name? Yeah,
was it General Candy Corn?
Colonel
Candy Corn.
Colonel Candy Corn,
I think so.
I think that was it. And had to be, he's in charge, and they're just having this great big epic battle. Finn and Jake have disappeared, and this thing gets out of this giant force field, brings down like all these creatures from the sky, and they break open, and they're running towards him. They're getting sliced up and destroying a bunch of these candy creatures, and suddenly Finn and Jake come in with that two-headed elephant and starts zapping the hell out of them, and they're both from the ancient world, and finally blows up that thing, and Marja gets knocked out, and she's in a coma, and then they're trying to figure out what to do, and the two-headed elephant just decides to kind of try and make his own decisions, but he doesn't know how, so he goes to Marja, who's still in the coma, and says, "I'll be your friend while you're still in the coma," and then a leaf falls, and the caterpillar is going to eat him. And Root Beer Guy is dead! That's so sad! But we just looked it up. Apparently the reason they killed him is to give a reason why the Banana Guards are still so incompetent. Yeah. But once you get someone else to replace him, I don't know.
But then we wouldn't have an episode like James 2.
I guess. So, but then again, Jake can get himself out of the ropes from the last episode or the episode before so easily. I mean, come on, when has continuity been like this important?
Well, no, and Jake has said, remember when he got the chip cut in his tooth? He said if he always did all that stuff, he wouldn't have any challenges in life.
Okay, that's their bullshit way around it, that's fine. But yeah, no, this episode, I really liked it because it was a really massive battle, but it was really funny, and it tied back into like this story, but this ongoing story, but at the same time, it also threw in a bunch of that randomness, and the slapstick was really funny, and I like it when they incorporated other characters. Like I like when one of the lasers gets reflected and blows up Ice King's house. He's like, "Hey, leave me out of that." That's all you see of him. I mean, I love those little touches like that. I love when everybody gets brought back to life, you still just see Root Beer Guy has not. Like, he's still dead. I loved seeing the elephant again. Wow.
I'm sorry.
Just Mountain Dew just materializes off screen here. Weird. It's like, you finally done. You drank so much Mountain Dew, you can make it just materialize out of nothing. Can it all.
Pretty much, yeah.
Interesting. Anywho. The Marcia... No.
Marsha.
What was it again?
Maja.
Maja's voice, with the, both the normal girl voice and then the deep, threatening voice under it, sounds great whenever she says anything like, okay, well, I can work with that. I can work, but okay, I can work with that. I can work. That's great. That monster is great, him trying to adapt to this new world, and then him and the elephant are from the same place, and while they're fighting each other, they're talking about how difficult it is to adjust, and I even like the little thing at the end where the elephant doesn't know what to do, and Finn's like, "Just be your own person," and he doesn't know, so he sort of goes off, and days pass, and he hears the ant who only knows to do what he feels he has to do, and the birds, and the mama bird and stuff. I don't know, it was strange, but it was, somehow it was both so tight and told such a complete story, and then it was also so random at the same time. And I really liked it. That's sort of what Adventure Time in a lot of respects is to me, where it was sort of getting divided up into, is this going to be a serious big story episode, or is this going to be kind of a fun waste of time? This one was kind of both. Yeah. And a part of me would almost like to see it, more just totally massive and really huge, because I mean that character we saw like one other time, the Maja character, and it's one of those things where it's like she finally comes back, she's kind of taken out one episode, like I probably could have seen this as 2. I think you probably could have stretched it out.
That could have been really neat.
Yeah, I could have seen this as 2 because it sort of starts in the middle, which is funny, but at the same time I'm like, this is pretty massive. This is pretty huge. Yeah. It's sort of the same thing with the with Ice King's wife. It's like I could have seen 2 episodes with that. I kind of thought the same thing here, but as is, I still think it was really enjoyable. It's kind of like the return of the king of, like, the Adventure Time, in 11 minutes, with jokes. And random parts thrown in. So
not Return of the King. At all.
Just in 11 minutes with random jokes. It could happen, and it did. Something big. And the last thing I'll say, I love when she was bringing the creature to life and the cool visuals, like the eye, the moon eye opening up.
Yeah, that was cool.
And just the design of that thing alone was great. And again, they gave him both sort of he was definitely very intimidating, but he was funny too. Yeah. And I think that made him... It didn't cheapen him, because everything seemed in character. Wait, I need to process this. Yeah. So tell me more about... It's like, a character like that wouldn't get feelings and love and stuff, but at the same time, it's funny to hear him say, let me process this, and so on and so forth. So, I thought it was great fun. I thought it was a really, really fun episode.
Actually, now that you say that, yeah, like, to an extent, it almost reminds me of Treebeard.
Yeah, a little bit.
With the whole, hold on a second, I really need to take some time to process this. Let me think of, yeah, I can see that a bit. And I'm done seeing that.
Okay. That's all I gotta say about that.
No, I liked it. I thought it was fun, different. Again, one thing I've always liked about the show is I'm kind of continually bringing back unanswered questions or what happened to blank character. Like last episode, 2 episodes ago, with the elephant. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, elephant shows up and it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Oh my god, we haven't seen you since, season 2. And it's kind of neat, because you forget about some of these one-off characters, and then they show up again and it's like, oh my god. And what they've always been pretty good at is, like with Zergiak. When Zergiak left, you were like, oh, well, there he goes, whatever. Then he comes back, and they kind of close it, or at least almost bring it full circle with these characters. The elephant, who knows only, war and being told what to do, is now kind of free to do whatever he wants. But he's also going with this person of, evil and everything, so it could turn into one of these where they learn from each other, or... I'm very, very, very curious what they're going to do with it.
So am I.
I'm really... This is something I can't wait to actually see later on down the road, what they do with it.
Well, especially because when I saw that, the first thing I thought is, okay, he's gonna befriend her and he's gonna be evil. But I like when she says, join me and we can be all powerful, destroy the Candy Kingdom. No, I will befriend you until you wake up. Wait, are you that elephant? No, I want no part of you. And then he flies off with her, and it's sort of like, yeah, I have no idea where they're going to go with that. That'll be fun. Even if it does turn out whatever he turns evil or whatever, it'll be fun to see the process, because they don't immediately start there. Yeah. Or it could go in a totally different direction. So I think those are great opportunities there.
Which I think is going to be pretty neat. A root beer guy, a character that kind of showed up, played a very minor part, and now he's gone. They're good
at... a memorial at the end, too.
Yeah. They're good at bringing back characters to either close them off or to continue their story when most shows kind of ignore that.
Yeah.
I mean, think of most cartoon or TV shows where they go to some alternate area of the world, they meet 4 people or 2 people, then after that episode, you never see them again, even if the show's on for 10 more years.
Again, 80s and 90s programming. I mean, the status quo literally ruled everything. I mean, you could argue it still kind of does in some shows, but I think shows nowadays have really branched out much more and become much more one big story, as opposed to we have to keep everything episodic and contained.
Yeah.
Or at least there's a lot more variety.
Oh, yeah. And that's one thing I really do enjoy about Adventure Time. So, I'm very curious what the hell they're going to do with that. I did like... Candy Corn shooting himself out of the cannon with the little guys after him. And he's like, yeah! And the guy's like, huh, boom! No, sorry, what's out of the mouth? Fires and
Yeah.
Kills the little candy guys, and I'm like, wow!
I say it's definitely the most violent. But the slapstick and the comedy was so fast and so good, and was such a good combination of, you know, kind of suspenseful and keeping the energy up, and then just really random goofy jokes. Like I said, when he threw himself in the can, is, you know, like the ticket just went, "Fire me, boy!" I mean, it's like, it's just great, and I love just keeping that momentum going throughout the whole thing.
I'm curious about that. I don't remember the giant guy's name, and I think it started with a G. Like, I want to say like Grant or something. But when Finn stabbed him in the head...
He said, "Thank you."
Yeah, I love it. He's like, "Thank you." And he's like, boom! And I'm like, wow, that's kind of neat and touching and odd at the same time.
Yeah, it's like, I didn't even know what to make of it. It just made me laugh because it was so confusing.
I think it's one of those things more along the lines of, I don't want to be awake. I am so old right now. I'm ready to die.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'll do what I'm told, and I'm okay with that. But, thank you for ending all this
Yeah, like, give me an honorable death.
Yeah.
I also like, you know, the little touches in this, too, where, like, he's talking to the elephant making the guacamole. He says, you gotta go and do whatever you want. And, like, the guacamole falls, and and he just keeps talking. And then, like, middle of the conversation, like, he'll bring the guacamole back up. "Oh, thanks." Yeah, and he'll just keep talking. It's like, you could have cut that. You missed nothing. But it's like those little touches just make it a little more unique and a little more funny.
Well, for me, it felt almost like Finn cared 10 times more for this elephant than anything else going on.
Especially the guacamole.
Well, yeah, like, he's, like, cooking and all this stuff, and in most other shows, they would have made a huge deal out of it. Like, oh my god, grab it for me, quick, you know, or something like that. But it's like, oh well. Because he's telling this elephant to be himself and to go out and do what he wants, and that's, like, more important to him than the guacamole. You know, I really like that. They could have turned it into... Like, they could have dragged it out to some really long, lame joke. But they used the joke very well, how it was, and also showed, I don't know, how caring Finn is.
Yeah, no, I dug it. I thought it was a real good combo, and I thought it was a lot of fun. So, you just like that I use the word Doug a lot, because that's my name.
Yeah, well, actually, in the comments, someone did say that. They're like, this is like the 4th episode in a row where Doug said something along the lines of, "I dug it."
You know, I noticed that. I don't know why. It's like the word. It's like the word has just really been in my mind for some reason. I've just been thinking about myself a lot.
I was like, yeah, you love yourself, apparently.
Maybe I just want to use as much Douginess as Doug can Doug. You Doug?
Do 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 do.